Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm playing along again with Christy's Beautiful Life and her 30 Days of Sketches for October, and I am really excited to be here today. I am doing a double page layout using this particular sketch, and I am using some old Webster's Pages paper, and I really love this wood grain and the green together, so I am going to use a 6-inch piece of the green with a 6-inch piece of the brown on top, and I'm kind of using it as though I'm not exactly sure actually how it relates to the sketch, but I just really liked the way that it looked in the green. It's almost as if this is one page and the brown is that floral part that's down the center of the sketch. But then I end up using these pink florals as the part that has the scallop. And I am not actually working in my normal spot today. I just took supplies with me as I was out and decided to work at the place that I was at. And so I have very limited amount of supplies, and I don't have any punches. I don't have any way to make that scallop edge. So I just went with a rectangle. And in fact, I didn't even have ink to ink the edges. So you can see I'm just using an actual plain old ballpoint pen. I don't even know, it's maybe Papermate or Bic or something like that, but it's just a pen at a friend's house that I am doing this at, and I didn't have my own journaling pens with me, and so this is what I'm working with. And so like I said, I have limited supplies, but I'm going to make the best of it, and stretching it into a double page layout was not exactly what I had originally planned, but it worked for this particular layout. Now I'm documenting some really old photos. These are 2007, I believe. 2007 or 2006? 2006, so even older. And they are from a 4-H outdoor adventure campout. So we had a project in 4-H that was called Outdoor Adventure, and they hosted a campout. And I was friends with the leader, and we had it at the company that I worked for had a campground, and I booked it for them, and so that's where we had it at. So anyway, I decided to go ahead and back this green card with the charcoal color because it didn't stand out with the green on the green. It needed something in between, and that particular card says follow your heart, which the 4-H motto is head, hands, heart, and health, and so anytime you can sneak those words in there, it works really well for a 4-H layout. And that is also going to be the landing place for my title. Now you can see I don't even know what I was doing there. Maybe I was cleaning up. I'm not really sure. But anyway, back to the layout. So I am pulling out the letters that I had in this kit, and they are not dimensional at all, but that's okay. I use dimensional titles on almost all of my layouts. This one's just going to have to be non-dimensional, and my entire title is going to be 4-H Outdoor Adventure Camping. And it is going to run off of the edge. I considered putting it on the top of the photo, you can see there, but by the time I got all of the other words up there, it just didn't work. It would have been too far down into the photo, so I decided to pull it up. But you can see I'm sitting there thinking about it, and what am I going to do? And that's when I decide I'm going to go ahead and put the other words on my ruler there. And that is just a centering ruler. I think I got it on Amazon for a few dollars, and it works great for this because it has some horizontal lines and you can line up your letters easily. And I'm not being super picky about them being super straight. You can see my photos are not perfectly lined up, and that is because they are different sizes. I didn't want to have like a column stacked I wanted them kind of offset from one another, and so I think that just adds to the whimsical nature of this particular layout. So I'm going to get all of my letters on there so I can kind of see how they're going to fit, because I don't want them to cover up the writing on that green, and I want to be able to just go ahead and get them stacked on top of each other, but I want more than just the word adventure kind of hanging off the left hand side of that card. And then I'm going to use this darker sticker to say 4-H, and I think those are some really, really old basic gray alphas, and I still have some of those in my stash, so I'm trying to use those up. Now I had these cards in my kit that I brought with me, and I definitely want to have a place for journaling on that right hand side. The piece on the left hand side, I just wanted to, I don't want to say mirror image the opposite side, but I want to bring in that same texture of that scallop and the same paper. So just putting that little border there worked out really well. I had these really thin labels in my kit that I had, and so I thought those would be a great grounding spot for the beginning of my embellishment clusters. And I had these pink embellishments in here, which go really well with that paper that I have as that is taking the place of the large scalloped paper in the sketch. And so I think that bringing in the pinks works really well. And the one with the heart says live it up, and the other one says best day ever. And I don't typically put best day ever on my layouts because, I mean, really, if it's the best day ever, how many of those can you actually have? But it was a fun day, so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to use it. And I didn't have a ton of other pink embellishments, so I wanted to make sure that I filled those in where I could and brought them across onto both pages. And I really like the pink with that wood grain, actually. And there are some gold glitter pieces, or there's a gold glitter border around that one on the right hand side, so I brought in that gold glitter arrow to the part on the left hand side to just bring that across again. And then since I had these wood veneer pieces that have this this blue writing on it, I made sure to have one in each spot. So one says memories and the other one says enjoy the little things. And that works well because it matches a lot of the blue in the photos. Now this is the other piece of wood grain. I'm cutting it in half, and it's a little bit shy of 12 inches, so I know that I'm going to have to make up the difference with this other piece of paper because I'm not getting a full 6-inch piece, and that would be fine if I was making my own page protectors, but I do have 6-inch by 12-inch page protectors, and I didn't want to have to deal with making my own, so I went ahead and just made up the difference. And by adding that piece, it just adds a little bit more interest, and it brings the layout, the continuity to the layout, because this is going to be a 6 by 12 insert in the middle of these two pages. So essentially I have 3 12 by 12 pages. One is cut in half so that it's a 6 by 12 on both sides. I find that is super helpful when you have just maybe 2 or 3 extra photos and you don't want to do a third page. A lot of times, especially if you are a double page scrapbooker, then you've added a third page, and then what do you do opposite that? Because if you do double pages all the time, now you're going to have to break up a double page layout. So this is a really good way to keep from having a third page or having to draw out your pictures to make 4 pages. Just add an insert between your two 12 by 12s. It doesn't have to be a 6 by 12, it can be an 8.5 by 11 or 6 by 8, but it will definitely keep you from having to have a single 12 by 12 page. Now in my albums I have 12 by 12 pages. I mix all my sizes. I have double page layouts. I have 6 by 8s thrown in. I think I actually even have a traveler's notebook size in one of them, because I don't actually do traveler's notebooks, but I had something in that size that I wanted to use. So I think it adds a lot of interest to your scrapbooks when you're flipping pages and there's something of a different size in there. It kind of calls it out and makes it a little more special, or brings whoever is reading your scrapbook or looking at your scrapbook, it brings additional interest to them. They're like, oh wow, look, it's a different size. That's really interesting. You know, it's like a little happy surprise amongst all your layouts. So think about putting some little inserts in between if you are looking for ways to use up just 1 or 2 little photos that go with an event that you've already scrapbooked. So now I am going to go ahead and add these little wood veneer pieces to this. You can see I pulled in another piece of that blue chipboard onto the back side, and I don't have another blue chipboard that works well for the opposite side, but I will pull in a ticket that says Explore, and it's in a lighter blue. Same type of blue, but just a lighter blue. So I think that's going to work out really well. And then let's see here. I do journal on these pages. So there is definitely journaling on the page that I'm working on right now. I fill up all of that. And I don't know if that's in the close-ups at the end or not. I believe it is, but I'm not 100% positive. I did this layout earlier this month, and I've done a lot of layouts since then, trying to make sure that I can do as many layouts as I can as part of this particular 30-day of sketches. So I apologize for not knowing off the top of my head if the journaling was in there before I took the photos or not. And there's that blue piece of the ticket, and I'm going to pull in this yellow one. There is yellow in that particular paper that it's going on top of. The little pink flowers that are on that paper have a yellow center, so I didn't feel like I'm adding something brand new and I'm gonna have to add yellow in all of my areas. I wanted to use up this 12-inch border strip that has trees on it, so I just cut it into 4 pieces so I can put a little piece on all 4 of the pages. And I didn't feel like it really had to be part of my embellishment cluster because it just looks like another layer underneath the photos, so that worked out really well for me. And of course you can make it part of your embellishment cluster if you want, but I didn't feel like it had to be. It wasn't like if it looked odd standing out by itself. It just looks like another layer of paper underneath those photos. And then I decided I need some more pink on this little insert piece that I'm doing, and I am going to fussy cut some of those flowers out of there. There's not a lot of pink flowers on this paper, and I realized that I am basically forfeiting all of the rest of that paper just to cut out the few pink flowers that are left on there, but that's okay. This paper has been in my stash for ages and I want to get it used up, and so I'm going to just go with it. The other side is that charcoal gray, so I didn't feel like it was like this awesome pattern that I was going to be missing out on if I just chopped it all up anyway, so it works out. And I think the pink just adds the final touches basically to this layout, although I do add some little gold puffy stickers. They're little gold circles. They look like enamel dots, but they're not. They're gold puffy stickers to each of the areas, and so that will complete the layout at the end. But I feel like the pink really added to this little insert page. And I do actually bring in the pink flowers to the 12 by 12 pages as well. There are some little floral stickers on each of the 12 by 12 pages, and those were off of that sticker sheet you saw me using, and that was a sticker sheet. I'm not sure who makes it, but it was a a 4th of July patriotic type of sticker sheet, and so it had like some pinkish red and blue flowers on it, and so I did use those up and scatter those amongst the photos or the embellishment clusters. At the end of the day, I really like how this layout came out. It's not my typical color scheme, I would say. I don't use a lot of floral background papers, but I do like how it looks. And I like how it softens up the wood grain. So that's kind of like, I don't know, super visually pleasing to me. So hopefully you enjoy it too. And then I decided to tuck this pink flower up underneath where the words are hanging off of the title area, and that just kind of finishes that area out, makes it look really cool. I'm going to add a couple of green leaves up there as well, so that's going to just pull in a little bit more of that yellowy green into that area. And it brings that yellow into each area as well, since the center of those pink flowers is yellow. So while I didn't feel like I needed to add a lot of yellow based on adding that ticket that had the yellow, it does add yellow to all of the pages. Pardon me, losing my voice here. So while I go ahead and finish cutting out those flowers, let me just make sure to tell you, Christy is doing a sketch a day. She's doing a layout for a sketch every day. Well, not on Halloween, but the 1st through the 30th of October. And there are various people playing along with her every day. I have played along with her several times throughout the month, and it's been so much fun. I've really enjoyed it, and you should definitely go check out her channel and all of the sketches that she has been working with, and check out all of the other ladies that are playing along. I will have links for everybody who is playing along today in the description box down below. If you want to see who is playing along on the other days, if I've played along, I will have links in my description box for them as well. But Christy will definitely have links to everybody playing along in her description box on her channel every day. So go and check that out. I hope that you are getting some inspiration from these sketches and the things that we are doing with them. I know earlier in the month I said I typically follow a sketch fairly closely. This one I definitely went a little off because I stretched it, and that is something that I really enjoy doing, and you might know that if you watch Stretch the Sketch, which is another monthly series that I do with another group of ladies, and we take a 12 by 12 sketch and stretch it every day. We stretch it or shrink it to something other than a 12 by 12 each month, and that's the 3rd Wednesday of the month. So you can go and check that out as well if this type of thing speaks to you and you've enjoyed watching this. You do get a lot of double pages, which is really nice because you don't see a lot of that out there in YouTube land, but you will see it a lot on that particular series. But we do have people that shrink it down to notebook size, or notebook traveler's notebook size, or even cards, or 6 by 8 or 8.5 by 11. So that's another fun thing you can go and check out. So it does look like I went ahead and did my journaling right away, and so that will be in the close-ups. So that's a hooray and a bonus for me, because I don't always get my journaling done before my close-ups. So that makes me pretty happy. I did go and draw some sketchy lines around each of the papers on this particular layout. So I think that really just kind of adds more continuity to the layout, and since I didn't have inks with me to ink the edges of some of those papers, especially that floral that is behind the photos, it definitely needed some sketchy lines on it to differentiate it between the green floral paper that is the background paper and the smaller paper. So that is a good way to go ahead and finish off your layout. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I really enjoyed spending time with you, and I really appreciate that your comments, your likes, and subscriptions. So thank you for doing that as well. I hope you have a great day. Here come the close-ups. Bye now.